Welcome back. Many local high school sports programs have been delayed or canceled this fall. The Big Ten and Pac 12 are two of the biggest programs to cancel college sports. For many student athletes, sports is their life, and some may be struggling to stay positive amid these changes. Scott Pederson is the founder and CEO of Positive Athlete, an organization helping to motivate and encourage young athletes. And he joins us now with more. Scott, good morning.
Hi, Katie. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for joining us and talking about this important conversation because really so many young athletes out there, they might be struggling with the social aspect, the lack of that, the competition, the missing practice and that routine. So what advice do you have for them as they try to cope with all of this?
Well, we have a program called Positive Athlete, okay? And so the positive athletes, if you go back through the history of athletes who've done well, like Michael Jordan and people like that, they always figured out a way to turn a negative into a positive. And I think that's the same case here because for all of us who've lived life a little bit while, we know that things go well sometimes and things don't go so well. And so I think that that's kind of the first step that an athlete needs to take is how do I turn this negative into a positive?
I love that because they're very unprecedented times. Clearly, none of us have gone through something like this before. And in your 35 years in the sports marketing world, you've talked with a lot of Olympic professional athletes about the adversity in times like this when they couldn't play. What have you learned from some of their stories?
I think that the main thing is that these athletes will tell you that, what you see is the highlights of their Hall of Fame career, and you see the highlights of them on the Olympic stand and those kinds of things. But what they try to tell me in the interviews I've done with them is that it's not that easy. I had bad times. As a matter of fact, I was just interviewing John Smoltz, and you think about John's great career and a Hall of Famer and everything, but how devastating it was to John Smoltz that he was traded from the Detroit Tigers, his hometown team, to Atlanta Braves. And the way that John looked at it was instead of saying, well, they don't want me anymore, was somebody wants me. And so I think that's kind of the attitude. The first attitude that kids have to take is what these Olympians are all saying is you're going to hit some potholes in life. Get ready. This is just the first of many that are going to happen like this. And the fact of the matter is those who turn this into a positive, start encouraging other people, start showing this optimistic attitude, figuring out ways to get better. That's what I talked to some Olympians who got the rug pulled out from them this year, and they said, I'm spending my time now getting better. And while a bunch of people are going to sulk and people are going to say, oh, why me in my time, they're all saying, I'm going to get better while those people are lagging.
Absolutely, a perfect time to really step up their game and dig in there. And you were kind of just mentioning that, but we're talking about scholarships, professional offers up in the air for some of these athletes. And it is easy to think about that why me and go down kind of the victim road. But why is that, such a detrimental idea? How should they shift their mindset?
Well, I think the thing you want to shift to is the fact that, with scholarships becoming more limited and coaches having to be more judicious about how they give the scholarships away, what's one of the first things they're going to look at when they can't look at how well you played on the field? And that is, what kind of a teammate were you? How did you take this adversity? Because you know what? I want that kind of person on my team. I want somebody who's a high character kid who understands teamwork, who's gone through these kind of things and come out of it with a positive attitude. So when a kid's talking to a potential recruiter about, hey, we'd love to have you come play here, one of the first things they're going to probably try to figure out is this a kid that has gone through some tough times, came out of it, acting as if nothing ever happened. And I think that's probably one of the things that I would tell and advise kids as they're trying to develop this with, if they're not able to play this year, how do I express that to a coach?
Absolutely. And Scott, we're about out of time here, but if someone does want to connect more with you and what you're doing there at Positive Athlete, how do people find you? How can they find you?
They can find us on positiveathlete.org, and we have a whole bunch of videos again with these athletes, and it's just great for a kid to sit down, even a parent to sit down and listen to what these athletes have to say because it's pretty amazing.
Awesome, Scott. Thank you so much for some of that advice and encouragement today. I know there's some folks out there that need to hear it, so we appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And for more information on today's segment, you can head on over to our website, fox5atlanta.com. Click on the As Seen on TV tab.